Tribe! So I was just getting a little download this morning from Spirit, and something I feel like called and guided to share. And that's about the understanding of divinity and all the different names of the divine. And so from my guidance from the Great Spirit, from the divine, from the Supreme Being, it is that there is but one sacred mountain. There's one sacred mountain, but there are an infinite number of ways and paths to walk up that mountain, to climb that mountain, to traverse that mountain. And the reason that there are all these different religions and all these different faiths and all of these different practices are for different people. There are different cultures, there are different timelines, there are different understanding levels, there are different, all of these things. And since considering the fact that the divine is infinite, there are quite literally an infinite number of faces and forms and ways for the divinity, the Supreme Self, to present itself to people. So if the divine is presenting itself to you as the Great Spirit, as the Divine Mother, as the Holy Trinity, as the Holy Spirit, as Sophia, as the Tetragrammaton, as Yahweh, as Yahuwah, as Creator itself, as any different iteration and understanding of the divine, this is just a way of understanding divinity that is broken down differently for each one of us. So understand that there is an infinite number of ways that the Supreme Being can present itself to you. But the Supreme Being is, from my understanding, unknowable because it is infinite. Because anytime that we try to describe it, as soon as you start that description, it has fallen short. Because there's no possible way for the understanding of something in this dimension, unless it is the divine, the God self itself, the supreme, the infinite understanding itself. So these lower vibrational versions or these lower dimensional expressions, we don't have the capacity to understand the supreme in totality. So anytime that we try to describe it or explain it, those descriptions will always fall short. The sacred Supreme Self is indescribable. It is unknowable. It is beyond anything that we could possibly imagine. And the Supreme, it has many different names, but if you're looking at anybody because of their faith, because of their religion, because of their style of worship as any less than you, then that is devil energy, that is darkness, that is negativity, that is the illusion of separation. And that is something that we need to work to illuminate, that there is but one unity, one Supreme Self, which we are all a part of, and which all of these faiths and practices and understandings are working to point at. But if in your faith, or if any part of your faith tells you it's okay to harm another, based off of their belief, or to look down, or to think that you're better than others because you think your understanding is right, it may be right for you. It may be right for you, but that who's to say that another's understanding of the divine is not right for them? So we need to hold that grace and that compassion and that love and that understanding and see things through the eyes of the Most High. And this is what creates harmony in our planet, in our world, in our consciousness, is understanding all things have their place in this unity and approaching them with love and compassion. And in doing so, this is how we'll create peace. You can't kill the evil out of the world. You can't hate people into believing the things that you want to believe. The only thing that you can do is love unconditionally. And eventually that unconditional love will start to release the tension and the hatred and the killing and all of the things that go along with this illusion of separation. But that has to come through the vibration of peace and unity and love. So, there's many faces and understandings of the divine. And one of my favorite is a Sanskrit mantra, which is Gobinde, Mukande, Udare, Apare, Haryang, Karyang, Naname, Akame. And these words, what they mean are sustainer, liberator, enlightener, infinite, destroyer, creator, nameless, and desireless. And this is one of my favorite understandings when we're looking at the divine, is the divine is the thing that sustains all things, that liberates us from illusion, that enlightens us to the truth of all experience, that is infinite beyond our comprehension, that is also the destroyer of things, and that comes back to the Ouroboros. The universe, the infinite, the divine survives by constantly eating its tail. It's the snake of eternity, of creation it's the circle of life in a multi-dimensional aspect. That's why there is life. We're born into these, and then we die, and then our nutrition goes to the trees, and then the trees go up, and little creatures eat the things from the trees, and then the snakes eat those, and then bigger animals eat those, and then we eat those bigger animals, and then we die, and we go back into the ground. It's this circle of life. And through that destruction, there is also creation, and that is another part of the divine itself, is creating and the loving artistic expression of new energy and divine knowledge. And that is beautiful as well. But also to think of the creation as nameless and desireless. It just is. And it doesn't have to want anything, because it is absolutely everything that has ever been or will be or could be or is now. It's the entire unity of all things. And it exists in the present now. It's right here. It's what we're residing in. It's what the fabric of what we are is. It's what this is, this experience. It's that isness, the self, the existence-ness. And by definition, to not exist doesn't exist. There's no such thing as not existing. All that there is existence. And that is what the Supreme Being is. It is the being of infinite faces, of infinite names, of infinite different understandings. But it is one sacred mountain. By my guidance and by my understanding and my downloads from the Great Spirit. So please, my friends and family, have grace. Have peace in your heart when you approach people of different beliefs and faiths. And understand that, none of us are any better than each other. And that when we make these judgments and look down upon others, that is devil energy manifesting through us. That is the darkness. That is part of the illusion perpetuating itself. So hold that grace in your heart. And through the embodied grace, once we begin to embody that as a people, that is what will transcend the conflict on this planet. The disharmony is by understanding each other as all integral parts of the unity of the Supreme Being and the Self. So yeah, I love y'all so much. I love y'all. Oh, just with all of my heart, And this life is wonderful and it's the best, and exploring these things is the joy of my life and the honor of my life. And I may not always have these explanations exactly perfect. I'm just a human being that's here, having this experience that God is working through. But I'm just like every single one of you. I'm just a person. I'm just a human, and I'm just out here doing my best. And I think it's beautiful to talk about these things and explore these things. And if you want to have some exploration or bounce ideas off of me or disagree with me or any of that, that's completely okay. And I love you all the same. So, sending my love and my prayers and my blessings and all the good things to each and every one of you. I love you, fam, deeply. Aho mitakuyasen.